Scott, Intuit is a fantastic company with $4 billion in dollars in sales and 30 years of product. You've learned a lot. Now, how can you apply those lessons of experimentations to fix, for example, the political problem here in the USA?
Oh, well, I wouldn't claim I'm bright enough to fix the U.S.
Lessons learned.
But I would say that there is a role in government policy for experimentation. Some people think you can't run experiments on government policy, but there is one country that does. China. The whole Chinese economic miracle was based on a set of experiments run by Deng Xiaoping starting in 1980. You remember Shenzhen was walled off and run by different economic rules. And then the economic miracle started there and was expanded to the rest of the country. Today, in air pollution, they really need control. And my wife and I fund the Environmental Defense Fund, which works with the Chinese government to run separate independent experiments. They have 7 of them going right now in different provinces of different regulatory regimes to control air pollution, and they're testing to see which regime works, and then they'll expand what works. What a novel idea for government.
Well, you do the same thing. You experiment too, because you both invest in Democrats and Republicans. What's your idea about that kind of experimentation, and how is that going to bring us more solutions?
Well, I think one of the advantages of a federal system where you have a lot of power devolved down to states is the states can be your hothouses for experimentation. So Welfare to Work, which was a federal bill that President Clinton signed and passed, was actually developed in Wisconsin by the other party, interestingly, and proven to work in Wisconsin before. So,
same as healthcare now.
Well, healthcare we didn't really run good experiments on. There's been...
Massachusetts?
Like I said, we didn't run any good experiments of healthcare. In fact, the Massachusetts healthcare situation has consumed half the Massachusetts budget. So that's not a success. So it was unfortunately a bill written without experimental data. And so we're experimenting on the whole patient all at once.
Do you notice that if you are a leader of a big company and you're worth a lot of money, does that give you any political clout into lessons learned, how to get them into Washington?
Oh, in clout. You mean clout with decision making in Washington?
Yeah. Are they interested in getting to know your ideas and of improvement?
I think what's more common in Washington is for elected officials, because of the nature of the system where they have to run expensive elections, to be most interested in fundraising. Because their job as a politician is to get reelected. That is their job. Governing is their kind of second job. And I'd say Todd Park in the administration is a real leader on this. He's the CTO, I guess, of the federal government in the Obama administration, and he is a real thought leader on experimentation and innovation. So that's a place where this is taking hold, and he is the one they're now listening to in Washington.
You say after every idea we've tried, there's a brilliant spreadsheet?
Oh, every bad idea, every failure we had in a new business had a brilliant spreadsheet, a spreadsheet that made it look brilliant. So we find spreadsheets do not allow us to discriminate the winners and the losers beforehand. I wish they did.
Thank you.